Pack meanings here are with 11.3 quadrilaterals. Quadrilaterals, like the name implies, we got the word quad in there, which means that it's got 4 sides. It's a special polygon, and there's a lot of classification that's going to go on with it. So we're going to talk about how they're classified, and I'm actually going to add one more classification in here for you. It's a cool one. But let's take a look at unlocking the problem, and then we'll get more into it. So a seating chart for a baseball field has many 4-sided figures, or quadrilaterals. What types of quadrilaterals can you find in the seating chart? So in order to be able to find them, I got to know what kinds there are. So that's what we're going to do here. So there are 5 special types of quadrilaterals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to add a 6th, and some of them are more than one. So just keep that in mind, like you saw in the video, hope. All right. You can classify quadrilaterals by their properties, such as parallel sides and perpendicular sides. Parallel lines are lines that are always the same distance apart, so think of an equals sign, okay? And perpendicular lines are lines that intersect to form right angles. They're 90 degrees, and you will generally see that little box there to tell you that it's 90 degrees. Those are perpendicular, means they go straight into each other. Boom, like that, like a plus sign, okay? So those are all the different types of things we can use to classify. Let's take a look down here. Complete the sentence that describes each type of quadrilateral. So here's a general quadrilateral. It's just got 4 sides. It's good to go. Hey, I'm a quadrilateral. Yay! Next, we've got a parallelogram, which of course it's got the name parallel in it. So it's got opposite sides that are parallel. So a parallelogram has opposite sides that are parallel, but they're also, if you look at it, I've got 2 lines here and 2 lines there and 1 here and 1 there. And if they have 1 line across from each other, that means they are the same length, which means that they are congruent. So we have opposite sides that are congruent. All right, and parallel, parallelogram, parallel sides, right? Opposite each other. They're never, ever, ever going to cross. If I just extend these out, they just keep going and going and going and going and going. Now we've got a rectangle, which is a special parallelogram with 4 right angles, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you can tell by the little boxes that they put on them, and 4 pairs of perpendicular sides. Okay, and 2 pairs of parallel sides, right? That's parallel and that's parallel. But we've got these 1, 2, 3, 4 perpendicular angles. It's got 4 right angles. It's got 4 perpendicular sides. All right. So rectangle, here's the thing about rectangles, 90-degree angles. That's what separates them. It's a parallelogram, just like that is, but it's special because it has right angles. All right. Opposite sides are congruent, right? Opposite sides are parallel. So that makes it a parallelogram, but also a rectangle. And a rhombus is a special parallelogram with 4 congruent sides. So it's special because all of its sides are the same, right? Not just the opposite ones are, right? But all 4 of them are. That makes it a special parallelogram, special quadrilateral, all right? Square is what I always call the king of the shapes. It's like almost everything, right? It's a special parallelogram with 4 congruent sides and 4 right angles. Okay, so a square is a quadrilateral because it's got 4 sides. It's a parallelogram because it has opposite sides that are congruent and parallel, right? It's a rectangle because it has 4 right angles. And it's even a rhombus because it has 4 congruent sides. So the king is the square. I put a little crown on top of that one. And then we got a trapezoid. It's kind of its own thing. It's not a parallelogram because it has only 1 pair of parallel sides. Okay, 1 pair of parallel sides, which would be these ones here. You'll often see a trapezoid drawn like this, but it doesn't matter. It could be drawn in a number of different ways, right? So the types that you can see, well, I see up here, hopefully you see it too. I see a trapezoid. Okay. And I'm just going to throw this out there. I mean, obviously we see quadrilaterals, so it says what types. Do we see any parallelograms? Well, if I have a square, boom, I have everything. So I'm going to look at that square right here, and I'm going to say I've got all the rest. I've got a parallelogram, right? I've got a rectangle, I've got a rhombus and a square. Okay, the reason for that is if I look at a square, do I have opposite sides that are congruent and parallel? Are they the same length? Yes. Are they parallel? Yes. So it's a parallelogram. Is it a rectangle? It's got 4 right angles. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, is it a rhombus? Are all the sides the same length? Yes. Is it a square? Of course it is. All the sides are the same length, and I've got right angles. Boom. All right, next page.